So SOCAN is an organization of nearly 200,000 members in Canada, fully composed of writers and publishers, but mostly composed of writers. And when writers write a song, whether they're a beat maker or a producer or a lyricist or a rapper or all of those types of players and beyond, they register themselves as a writer, SOCAN writer member, and they should also register all of their compositions to SOCAN. A lot of the time what I'm doing is going on SOCAN's website, looking at their public repertoire, looking up a composition and seeing who their writers and publishers are. And sometimes I discover people listed there who are not subject to any agreement of a song that we're licensing. I remember one time I was helping a producer create some master use and synchronization license agreements. They gave me the names of every song and who all the writers were and who owned all the recordings. And as an extra layer of due diligence, I went out on SOCAN's website, I searched every composition, and for one composition I found that there was some other person listed there who had the same last name as the writer we knew about, but it was some other person that no one had ever heard of. So I asked the producer to go check this out. It ended up being that it was the child of this composer. So the composer listed themselves and their kid, which actually is a good way to extend the life of a public, it extends the life of a song in terms of when it goes into the public domain, because if you're 100 years old and your co-writer is 5 years old, then now the public domain starts way later, but that's a whole other topic. But how do you use SOCAN? You can see on SOCAN who the writers are, or at least who's registered as a writer. SOCAN does not equal fact all the time. Just because someone is listed as a writer on SOCAN doesn't mean that they actually wrote the song. But it's a good way to do some due diligence to see whether or not someone is actually missing from the list of agreements. And the other point is that SOCAN is not the only list that is out there. Oftentimes I look at the BMI and ASCAP list, ASCAP, ASCAP, BMI, BMI. So those are two organizations that are similar to SOCAN, but based in the United States. They have a similar repertoire system, but there are some songs that are listed there that aren't on SOCAN's list. Sometimes there's more registrations there. But bottom line is that these PROs, these performance rights organizations, have lists of compositions, and those lists can be helpful to see whether or not there are people who may come after you if you don't get their consent.